What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Seatman, and coming up on today's show, I want to discuss some of the latest news around your Chicago Bulls after the season wrapped up yesterday as the Bulls got absolutely blasted by the Dallas Mavericks, gave up 80 points in the first half, almost 150 for the entire game, and thank God that this season is over. But this offseason is going to be a lot of fun. The Bulls have a really good chance to have 2 picks in the top 15 of a loaded NBA draft class coming up here, and obviously we know they have a search for the new GM and president of basketball operations. So a lot is going to be covered, but if you guys could hit that subscribe button today, we just need 183 more of you guys to subscribe to the channel, and then we can hit our next milestone of 15,000 subs. So if you guys want some elite offseason content and coverage here at the Bulls Report, go down there, hit that subscribe button today. So the Chicago Bulls are slotted to pick at number 9, heading into the draft lottery. Coming up here in a couple of weeks, I believe it's May 10th on a Sunday, I believe. But right now, their top 4 pick odds are 20.3% chance, which is pretty solid. And then the odds to land the number 1 overall selection, not likely, but better than what it's been in past years at 4.5%. And getting into the top 4, specifically for this year, is absolutely massive because the big 4 here in college basketball this past season, I think all of these guys are generational, franchise-altering players like Darryn Peterson. Even though his stock dropped a little bit this past season, I still think he would be a guy where I would feel more than confident taking him at pick number 2 or 3 here in the NBA draft. And you got AJ Dybantsa. I'm assuming Dybantsa will end up going number 1. Probably depends on who has the number 1 overall selection. But I like Dybantsa. I like Boozer as well. And then even if the Bulls get the 4th overall pick, getting Caleb Wilson would be an absolute steal. I love Caleb Wilson's versatility on defense. He plays with a very high motor. I think he could develop into like a Kawhi Leonard, like Giannis Antetokounmpo hybrid, where he's just an elite athlete. And if he can develop anything offensively, like he can truly be a multiple-time All-NBA player. So all 4 of these guys, I think, will be home run picks, franchise-altering players. But let's just say even the Bulls, get slotted at pick number 9, there's still a lot of good draft prospects out there. I've completely changed my tune on Kingston Flemings. I think he does give me vibes of like a Tyrese Maxey level of guard. Nate Ament, he would be the more polarizing option for the Bulls. If I was Ament, I would probably go back to Tennessee, develop one more year. He's just so raw with his offensive and defensive game. I think another year of college basketball, developing his body for one more season would be advantageous to him. And then Mikel Brown Jr., polarizing prospect as well. Like his game. Wouldn't love this pick at number 9. Brayden Burries, though, would be my number 1 choice. And you also got Yaxel Lendeborg, an older prospect, but one of the best defensive players in the country. And I could see him being the selection for the Bulls at number 9. But my dream draft target, and I will stay on this until the draft eventually comes here in a couple of months, that being Brayden Burries, the guard out of Arizona. I can't, be higher on him. I think he is, in my opinion, if I was given my big board, he would be number 5 after the big 4 of Caleb Wilson, Dybantsa, Boozer, and Peterson. But Burries would be right up there with all of those guys. He's got really good size on him, 6'4". He's got a wingspan of 6'6". So even at the guard position, he's stockier, but he does offer some length where he can be in a good point of attack defender on the perimeter. And yes, he was a freshman this past year at Arizona, but he was an older freshman, 20.8 years old right now, so he'll be 21 when the season begins. And he was obviously at Arizona this past season where he shot the ball incredibly well. And I think his game, it's tough to come up with a pro comp for him. Like, I think his max potential, and if he really works out and you see it all the way through with him, he could be like a Devin Booker level of player. Also see some Desmond Bane, also see some Quentin Grimes, some Nikhil Alexander-Walker. He's kind of just a flurry of a bunch of different pro style of guys here at the next level. But I love Brayden Burries. And the thing I love about him also is that his short mid-range, he hit it at 46.5%. So these are like floaters, push shots right below the free throw line. A very tough shot to hit. Like, you got to have really good touch around the rim. And he shot that at a pretty high level, making 20 of 43 this past season. Ended up shooting 40% from downtown, 68 out of 169. So good stuff there on Burries. And also at the rim, a good finisher at 65%. So he's a very efficient shooter. He's got good handle. He does lack a little bit in the playmaking side of the game. Don't really see him at Arizona, operating pick and rolls at a high level. But also, I don't know if that was something where Arizona didn't ask him to do it. So it doesn't mean he can't. Was it just his role at Arizona? We'll wait and see when he develops in the NBA. But I think with the floor space more at the next level, I think Burries could be a guy where it's like, hey, immediately he's averaging 16, 17 points a game, giving you really good defense on the other end. So for the The Bulls at number 9, I think he would make a lot of sense next to Josh Giddey. Get some spacing around Buzelis, Giddey as well. So Burries would be my dream pick at number 9 for the Chicago Bulls. But you guys let me know. Sound off for me down below in the comment section. Who's your dream pick for the Bulls? Let's just play the hypothetical that they are picking at number 9 here. Drop your thoughts down below in the comment section, and let me know your dream Bulls draft pick down below. We'll dive back into the rest of the show here in just a second, but I want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new Team Picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of all the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with Team Picks on Prize Picks. Pick the winner straight up on Prize Picks. Who's going to win the next big basketball game? Who is going to win the fight? Back your takes with real money. And you guys can download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on, and get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup with Prize Picks. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with qualified professionals before making any trading decision. We got to talk about the Portland Trailblazers now to close out today's show, because the Chicago Bulls, going back to the Lauri Markkanen trade a bunch of years back, they have the Portland Trailblazers first-round pick lottery protected, and thankfully the Portland Trailblazers were able to land the A seed in the Western Conference, so the Trailblazers just need to win one of their next 2 games. They get in the playoffs, and the Bulls have the chance to get the 15th or 16th overall pick, and DraftKings has their odds at the favorite of them making the playoffs at -240, but also you can win some money if you think they'll lose both games at +190. Now, they do take on the Suns here on Tuesday night, where the Suns are 4.5-point favorites, and the Trailblazers money line coming here at +140. Now, I think this is a tough game for Portland. Really like what guys like Denny Advia. I still can't believe the Bulls drafted Patrick Williams over Denny Advia, but they got Scoot Henderson, Tumani Kamara, Shaden Sharp's really good. Donovan Clingan's had a great year. Like, the Trailblazers have guys, but the Suns, they're going to have the best player in this game, Devin Booker, still Dylan Brooks. He brings a winning pedigree to any basketball court he steps on. Colin Gillespie's had a really good year, but the Suns, like Trailblazers, like, I would not be shocked if Portland ends up winning this, and if they do, they'll take on the San Antonio Spurs. They'll get blasted, and then the Bulls will get the 16th pick. But ideally, if you're rooting for, like, best-case scenario, like, how do the Bulls get the #1 overall pick and the 15th pick? Is obviously you win the draft lottery at your own selection, and then the Portland Trailblazers, they lose to the Phoenix Suns, hop in that final AC play-in game against Golden State or the Los Angeles Clippers, and then they beat them, and then eventually OKC sends them home, and then the Bulls get the 15th overall pick, which is on the table now. I will say, my one thing I'm really nervous about, I think Portland could beat Golden State. I love Steph Curry, and obviously Steph can go out there and win any game individually for Golden State. But the Los Angeles Clippers, they have an ability to put Kawhi and Denny Advia. Darius Garland could still give him some problems. Benedict Mathurin off the bench. Like, if it is Portland versus the Clippers in that final game, I wouldn't be nervous of Portland getting knocked out. But let's just say they do end up getting the 15th overall pick. The Bulls could be set up to really get another stud here in the NBA draft. You got Ade Mora, the big fella out of Michigan. He dominated the Final Four, had his career high in the Final Four matchup against Arizona. Chris Sinak Jr., I like him a lot. He developed very nicely over this whole season for the Houston Cougars. Christian Anderson, he is a flamethrower with the basketball. Like, when he gets hot from downtown, he can really let it rip. And then a guy who hasn't gotten a lot of love just because he wasn't in the tournament, Haynes Steinbach of Washington, got some versatility, can put the ball on the deck a little bit, so I'd like him as well. And then also Braylon Mullins. Like, if the Bulls could somehow leave this draft with Brayden Burries and Braylon Mullins, or even Ade Mora, I think it would be a home run for Chicago. But overall, like, I understand we're all negative right now. Like, the Bulls, they're a disaster. They are the most irrelevant big city sports franchise in all of the major sports leagues. But you have a chance this offseason to really turn it around. Like if Portland does end up getting in the playoffs and you get the 15th or 16th overall pick, and even if you don't get any luck in the lottery and you're still slotted to pick at number 9, if you get pick number 9, pick number 15 or 16, you got 2 second-round picks. Like that is how you turn it around. We always talk about in the NFL, how do you turn the team around? It's through the draft. The same can be said about the NBA because if you get 2 lottery picks, they both end up hitting. Maybe the Pelicans second-round pick, you find a hidden gem there in the second round, go spend some money in free agency with the Bulls having $65+ million to spend. I still think this will be a long turnaround, but at least the Bulls can get some players this offseason. We're feeling excited heading into the next season, next to Buzelis, next to Josh Giddey, but this offseason will be huge for the Chicago Bulls, and I can't wait to see what ends up happening. But if you guys want the Bulls to get the Trailblazers pick, let's get some good vibes going in the comment section. Give me those C-Reds down below. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.